Hello everyone. I'd like to thank all those who posted comments on my previous video. There's clearly a unanimous verdict there, so yes, next year I'm going to try to do more interactive fiction reviews. Until then though, I've got an ordinary game review to keep you entertained. Oh, and before I start, I noticed that Gas Powered Games has released a new resource pack for Supreme Commander 2. Full of units and features and all this other stuff that should have been in the game in the first place. Sorry my friends, too little too late. I'm not going to be buying it. Anyway, the game I'm going to review today is Civilization 5 for the PC. The next installment of Sid Meier's classic civilization building game. If you've been living under a rock for the past 20 years and are not familiar with the Civilization series, then here's a brief summary of what the game involves. You are the leader of a budding civilization at the dawn of time, trying to expand your empire, building cities, and either defending or conquering your rivals in order to win one of several types of victory. Now, Civilization 5 is quite different to its predecessors, in that it uses hexagonal tiles rather than square ones for movement. There are also city-states who are not competing with you to play the game, but can be conquered, befriended, or traded with. Not only that, your cities that you build, they're not quite as vulnerable as they were in previous titles. In previous titles, you need to have a unit in there, otherwise an enemy could just walk straight in and conquer your city. Not anymore. Not only can they resist invasion, but they could also shoot back at enemy units from a distance too. There's also a new government system consisting of a list of 8 traits, if you like, which act as power-ups, giving you bonuses for things such as improved defense while fighting on friendly territory, or increased worker speed, things like that. That, unfortunately, is where the changes for the better end. So, after the 5 gigabyte Steam download and 3 sessions of playing Civilization 5, all of which ended in the game crashing, a sense of deja vu overwhelmed me. It was the same feeling of bitter resentment and disappointment that I got after playing that dumbed down Supreme Commander 2 game. Up until recently, I was still playing Civilization 4 thanks to the modders who were keeping things interesting. One modification I could think of in particular was the Legends of Revolution mod. That was very good indeed, very professionally done. But it's going to take something very, very serious to put right what's wrong with Civilization 5. Where shall I begin? The new government system, right, it requires an accumulation of culture points, if you like, before a particular policy can be chosen. It's not like the previous titles where changing government in response to changing needs or technologies was simply a matter of revolution. Once you've chosen a set of policies in Civilization 5, there's no going back. What's more, you have no idea what policies your opponents have chosen, nor do they seem to react in any way to the ones you've chosen. A religiously orientated civilization did not seem to have any disdain for my rationalistically orientated one. A freedom orientated civilization did not seem to react to any difference to an autocratic civilization. There's no religion or espionage in this game as well, which is a shame, because those things made Civilization 4 far more realistic and interesting. Now, when we get onto the subject of unit building and game mechanics, things go from bad to worse. The units take far too long to build, and by the time you've built them, they're usually obsolete. So that's not a very good sign. And the city improvements also take too long to build as well. At one point, I found it quicker to build world wonders than I did to build city improvements. That was absolutely pathetic. And strategic resources are no longer unlimited. Each one you control only supports a certain number of specialist units, which wouldn't be so bad if the requirements for said units were actually logical. Okay then, let's play a game. I'm going to give you a name of a unit. It's multiple choice, by the way. And you're going to tell me what strategic resource you need to build it. Okay, let me give you an example. To build a swordsman, do you need A. horses, B. iron, or C. uranium? The answer is B. iron. Okay, here's your first one. Let's build a tank. Do you need A. iron, B. oil, or C. both A and B? The answer is B. Now, I would have thought a lot more iron was needed to build a tank than to build a sword, but that's just me, I suppose. Now, let's make a jet fighter. Do you need A. oil, B. aluminium, or C. both A and B? I'll give you a clue for this one. The unit it rendered obsolete, which was the fighter, just needed oil. The answer is B. Now, I would have thought a jet would consume a lot more fuel than a prop plane, but again, that's just me. Okay, last one. What about a nuclear submarine? Do you need A. oil, B. uranium, or C. aluminium? The answer is obviously B, isn't it? Well, no. The answer is C. aluminium. No, I don't get it either. It doesn't help when the instruction manual gets it wrong too. For example, it claims that you need iron to build an anti-aircraft gun, but no such requirement was actually found in the game. Everything except aluminium seems to be strategically useless towards the end of the game anyway. I mean, to me, this smacks of bad gaming mechanics. And if you think the silliness ends with aluminium-powered nuclear submarines, then guess again. Problem number 1. Men with bows can perform a ranged attack from 2 squares away, while tanks and men with rifles are somehow not able to do this. I don't know why. Answers on a postcard if you know. Problem number 2. The most powerful unit in the game is called the Giant Death Robot. I'm not joking now. What was this game made for? Adults or children? Problem number 3. You're only allowed to have a single unit on a hexagon at any one time. Now, this sounds like a good idea in theory, but in practice it's a bit of a nuisance, especially when you're planning a mass attack and you're trying to reposition your troops, in which case it's like playing one of those sliding puzzles, you know, the sort with the one square missing and you have to try to arrange dinner, or try to arrange the picture or whatever it is. Oh yes, I think you know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Problem number 4. There is an easily exploitable bug that allows your units to gain experience points and thus upgrades just by putting them in range of an enemy city and letting the enemy blast away at it, retreating, healing, and then repeating the process, because, you see, a unit gains experience points every time it's attacked, whereas a city doesn't. Oh, what else was there? Oh, there were also a number of graphical glitches in the game, such as the time I built a great engineer only to see this featureless magenta box shoved in my face, where the congratulations picture should have been, or the list of strategic resources located at the top of the screen, which gradually expands as you gather new ones, eventually overlapping the year and the turn number to the point where you can hardly read them. The rivers look absolutely awful too, that they're just featureless, motionless, monochrome blue strips meandering through the land into the sea. But having said that, the graphics, where non-glitchy, are okay, full of that strange Art Deco style artwork. I can't remember what that artist was who did that kind of thing. One of the people the person I live with, he's got a load of books with it on the cover, I think. I can't remember. I think he's into that kind of thing. I don't know what the name of the artist is, but I'll have to ask him some other time. Okay, so, well, I think that's about it. I'll leave it at that. So there we have it. If you're new to the Civilization series, you'll probably be blown away by this game, but to be honest, you're better off just sticking with Civilization 4. As it is, Civilization 5 is rather disappointed and desperately needs modding.